Two six-cylinder flagships, two very different philosophies. BMW's K1600 GTL leans on an inline-six and Bavarian technology. Honda's Goldwing Tour counters with a flat six, a rock-bottom center of gravity, and 5 decades of touring credibility. Here are 9 points that separate them, plus a final verdict.
The K1600 GTL runs a 1,649cc inline-six, producing 160 horsepower at 6,750 RPM and 132.7 pound-feet of torque at 5,250 RPM, with a lofty 12.1-to-1 compression ratio and throttle-by-wire management. A revised engine control unit lets it reach rated output a full 1,000 RPM earlier than the pre-2022 version, and the turbine-smooth delivery above 5,000 RPM is genuinely addictive. Honda counters with an 1833cc horizontally opposed Unicam SOHC flat six, running 10.5-to-1 compression and perfectly square 73.0 by 73.0 millimeter internals. The Goldwing makes near 125 horsepower at 5,500 RPM, with a comparable torque figure arriving at just 4,500 RPM. The BMW is the sportier, revier engine. The Honda is an effortless plateau of low RPM shove that never asks you to work for it.
Both bikes drive the rear wheel through a shaft, and both offer a reverse function, which is non-negotiable on machines this heavy. BMW pairs its 6-speed helical gearbox with standard reverse assist, and buyers can add Shift Assist Pro for clutchless up and down shifts through the Comfort or Premium packages. Honda's approach is broader. The base Goldwing Tour uses a 6-speed manual with a genuine overdrive 6th gear for relaxed interstate cruising, while 2 further trims swap in the 7-speed automatic dual-clutch transmission. That DCT remains the single biggest differentiator in the class. It eliminates clutch work entirely in stop-and-go traffic and manages the wing's considerable mass beautifully at walking pace. If you want a luxury tourer that shifts itself, only one of these two will do the job. BMW's counterargument is that a 6-speed with a quick shifter keeps the rider more involved, and on a twisty road, that case is easy to make. BMW mounts its engine as a stressed member within a bridge-type cast aluminum frame, with a dual-lever front end and a pair-lever single-sided swing arm at the rear, offering 4.5 inches of front travel and 5.3 inches at the back. Dynamic ESA handles damping and automatic load leveling on the fly. Honda's double wishbone front suspension is arguably even more radical, separating braking forces from suspension action across 4.3 inches of travel, with a Pro-Arm swing arm and Pro-Link shock providing 4.1 inches at the rear. The BMW rides on sport bike-sized 17-inch radials, a 120/70 front and 190/55 rear, wrapped around a 63.7-inch wheelbase. The Honda uses a 130/70/18 front and a fat 255/16 rear on a longer 66.9-inch wheelbase, with 30.5 degrees of rake and 4.3 inches of trail. Fully fueled, the BMW scales in at 789 pounds against the Goldwing Tour's 845-pound curb weight. And Honda's DCT and airbag trims add more still. Yet the raw number tells only half the story. The wing's horizontally opposed layout carries its mass exceptionally low, and Honda claims the lowest center of gravity in the class. The payoff is a machine that feels lighter than it is once rolling, and far less intimidating at parking lot speeds. The BMW's famously narrow inline-six, barely wider than a typical 4-cylinder thanks to its 72mm bores, keeps its own bulk tidy between your knees. At 29.5 inches, the GTL seat sits only fractionally above Honda's 29.3 inches. BMW also quotes a 445-pound payload against a 1,234.6-pound permitted total weight, which matters enormously if you tour 2 up with full luggage. Honda's electric windscreen sweeps through a 4.9-inch range, changes its angle as it moves, and remembers its last position, a small luxury that pays real dividends over a 600-mile day.
Heated grips, cruise control, and Honda's Smart Key are standard across every tour trim. BMW answers with standard heated grips plus seat heating on the GTL, an electrically adjustable screen, and an inner leg curve of 69.3 inches that opens up genuine legroom for taller riders. Passenger accommodation is where the GTL earns its L designation. A top case with integrated backrest is standard, with an optional armrest and case liners available. Honda's Tour trim likewise builds a passenger backrest into the trunk and adds electrically adjustable rear spring preload to cope with two-up load.
BMW quotes 29.9 gallons, roughly 113 liters, of combined storage across its body color side cases and top case. Honda goes further. The Goldwing Tour's trunk alone holds 61 liters, enough for two XXL full-face helmets, even with headsets fitted, and the integrated saddlebags add 30 liters per side for a combined 121 liters. That 8-liter edge is modest, but Honda's luggage also opens and closes electronically at the touch of a button, locks remotely through the Smart Key, and uses hydraulic lid dampers throughout. Fuel is where the tables turn. The GTL carries approximately 7 gallons, including a 1-gallon reserve, while the Goldwing Tour holds 5.5 gallons. That gap translates into a meaningful difference in legs between fill-ups, and on remote routes where gas stations thin out, the BMW simply travels farther before it forces you to stop. The GTL's 10.25-inch TFT display is the larger and more configurable of the two, offering a full-screen interactive map through the BMW Motorrad Connected app, a split-screen mode, multi-controller operation, and 4 programmable favorites buttons. A USB-C charging compartment handles phones, and Audio System 2.0 adds satellite radio alongside selectable sound profiles. Honda's 7-inch screen is smaller but arguably smarter in daily use, with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto handing navigation and media duties to a device the rider already knows intimately. Honda also bundles SiriusXM compatibility. BMW gives you more screen real estate and deeper native integration. Honda gives you the exact interface you already use in your car with no pairing headaches and no learning curve. Which approach wins depends entirely on whether you prefer a purpose-built motorcycle cockpit or your phone doing the thinking. BMW's standard suite is deep. Integral ABS Pro, dynamic traction control, engine drag torque control, 3 ride modes in rain, road, and dynamic, Hill Start Control Pro, tire pressure monitoring, a full LED headlight with adaptive cornering light, and intelligent emergency call that can summon help automatically after an incident. Honda's kit covers combined ABS, Hill Start Assist, tire pressure monitoring, torque control, an idle stop system, and 4 ride modes in Tour, Sport, Rain, and Econ. But Honda holds one card BMW cannot match at any price. The Goldwing Tour Airbag Automatic DCT remains the only production motorcycle on sale with a factory-fitted airbag. For a rider weighing worst-case outcomes above every other consideration, that single feature can settle the entire argument on its own. The K1600 GTL starts at $35,970 before a $1,195 destination charge, with the premium package adding $1,880 and the new Edition 2 in Imperial Blue Metallic commanding $3,995. Coverage runs to 3 years or 36,000 miles, and every 2027 BMW includes the Ultimate Care break-in service. Honda undercuts that decisively. $29,500 for the manual Goldwing Tour, $30,500 for the DCT, and $33,800 for the airbag-equipped DCT, each plus $775 destination, all backed by a 3-year transferable unlimited mileage warranty. Even a fully loaded wing lands below a base GTL. One caveat applies to both machines. The 2026 Goldwing is a color change year with no mechanical revisions, and BMW's 2027 updates likewise center on colors, graphics, and the Edition 2 package rather than hardware.
These are not interchangeable machines.
The K1600 GTL is the choice for riders who want their tourer to feel like a fast sport tourer that happens to carry luggage. 160 horsepower, a 10.25-inch cockpit, the longer fuel range, and a chassis that genuinely rewards a briskly ridden mountain road. You pay handsomely for that, and the options list compounds quickly. The Goldwing Tour is the more complete touring instrument. It carries its weight lower, offers the only automatic transmission and the only airbag in the segment, integrates CarPlay natively, and costs meaningfully less in every configuration. If your riding is measured in miles rather than corners, and especially if you ride 2-up through traffic, buy the Honda. If you want a 6-cylinder that begs to be revved and a badge to match, the BMW justifies its premium.